Welcome back to With Love, Misty. This is episode 13 of Vibrate Higher Daily. Welcome. If this is your first time, thank you so much for stopping in and listening. I am reading Vibrate Higher Daily by Layla Delia. This is definitely a book of self-exploration. So if you haven't gotten a journal, or if you have one already, great. Make sure that you tap into the earlier episodes. I do have a playlist where all of the episodes are there for you, so you don't have to go looking for them. But utilize your journal to do the self-assessments. She does give some ideas to do daily. It's called Vibrate Higher Daily, so she does give you some work. And basically, it's all self-work, self-assessing, things that will help us begin to vibrate higher daily, transition to that higher level that we want in our lives. I know that sometimes we don't take time for that. So hopefully I'm helping you out here by reading the book to you. Give me some grace. I always say that, give me some grace. This is not edited. It's really raw and uncut. So I just thug it out and do my best to get the message to you. Again, we're on episode 13, and I'm going to start on page 169. So get your journals, and let's do the work. Become a beacon. As awakened beings, we are aware that everything we do is going to impact others. Therefore, it's necessary to be forces of good. We recognize the power of interconnectedness, and so with honor, we serve the world with the high intentions instead of low ones. We each have a unique role to play in the combined solution to pain, suffering, and imbalance in the world. More and more, as you become a visible expression of vibrational awareness and harmony, the world meets you in a new way. Your new inner power becomes a gateway to outer change, and you become available in a greater way. You show up, respond, and contribute differently when your vibration and harmony are in a good place. And consequently, you become a beacon of inspiration and hope to others. Your vibration, being seen and felt, becomes a lighthouse in the world. In various ways, we each hold this much power and purpose. Reaching our higher empowerment is critical not only to our own personal journey, but to that of the collective world as well. As we progress onward by living an intentional life through vibrational-based living and service, we show up in the world from a higher place of integrity and care. Fully immersing ourselves in the way of being allows us to transform even the most mundane days, tasks, and experiences into extraordinary. These extraordinary experiences happen in our homes, our work, our relationships, and our communities. Maybe you start making an effort to send a birthday or thinking of you card to a friend. Perhaps you start volunteering with at-risk youth, serving your child's school, or helping out at a library. Maybe you spread stomach joy among colleagues by baking special treats to enjoy at the end of a long week. Or you try and strike up a conversation with strangers. Or maybe you go big and more personal, such as opening your home to a friend in need. Sometimes a big spotlight shines on your good efforts and deeds. Sometimes a big spotlight shines on your good efforts and deeds. At other times, the good you do is recognized by only one or two other souls. And at other times, no one sees it other than the divine. The divine. The work is sacred nonetheless, and you do what has to be done because it's the right thing to do. As someone who is aware of the ripple effect of vibrations, you know your good deeds have the potential to impact people in large and small necessary ways. There are times when our individual work, strength, and capability can feel inadequate. There are times when our individual work, strength, and capability can feel inadequate. But know that cooperatively we hold much power and are getting much done together. That's what an ecosystem does. Confession. Early on my journey to vibrational awareness, if I was emotionally heavy, I found myself desiring to go to my local Target store. It wasn't because I needed the new random thing, but because I needed all the genuine kindness I could get from strangers and the attentive, kind people who work there fit the bill so sweetly. I felt welcomed, almost like a special guest at my local Target. When I had a question or needed help, someone was there. That helping, hospitable nature was the high vibe I needed. These small, mundane exchanges were so refreshing. I wasn't made to feel like I was inconveniencing anyone or disturbing anyone's peace there. I was met with what always felt like a genuine smile and care. And the vibration of kindness and concern in their tone and voice was always very soothing. Almost made me open up and ask for a hug. Okay, moving along. But this is what the power of great hospitality and high vibes, no matter the environment, can do. It can transform mundane moments into ways that we may not fully realize someone else may need. We can all we can all be hospitable and radiate helpful vibrations. God knows the world needs more of this sweet medicine everywhere. Becoming a conduit for high vibrations. How do we stay dedicated to vibrating higher in a world that's imbalanced? There's a way, and it's to be conduits of nurturing vibrations. We become conduits by using our light, our voice, and unique gifts to channel empowering, healing energies that counterbalance the ways the world is being misled, wounded, emotionally triggered, torn apart, and underserved. We help the world atone where necessary, mend where necessary, improve where necessary, and eventually be restored to a higher functioning place. And with our awakening, we each carry out our given supporting role in helping our communities, and the greater world vibrates higher again and again. Our greatest progress throughout history has been led by awakened people who take on the roles of helpers and responders and become conduits for progress and change. All levels of contribution count and matter. We can all make a difference in some way. Never underestimate the power of the gifts you carry. Never underestimate the power of the gifts you carry. After awakening, reconfiguring, and living more deeply into vibrational awareness, you get it. You know firsthand the power and force of vibrations from both ends of life's spectrum and what they can do. No doubt about it, you've had to overcome some arduous things to gain this game-changing insight and power you now hold within you. This is powerful and valuable, and it's vital that you recognize you've been initiated into taking your place in the world as a change agent. You now go into the world with the right amount of force and wisdom because you're fortified to do so. You know what raises and lowers vibrations? What gives people joy and nourishment and also promotes and advances further imbalances and wounds? And as the hero on this path, it's time for you to become a conduit in the greater world. Look, look back at what you gave. Look back at what gave you good healing energy. Look back at what gave you good healing energy. Then give it to others. Look back at what nourishes and empowers you. And in some similar way, transfer that into what it is you do out in the world. For me, the strongest vibrations were healthy foods that made me feel nourished and cared for. and friends who loved me, all of me, for who I was. So I try to offer these things to others through inviting guests to my home to eat a healing meal I prepare with love, and aspiring to be kind, or the kind of nurturing friend that I so value and needed on my journey while soul searching. Vibrational awareness will allow you to stay in tune with what serves people and what harms people. Keep working through your current path, and in spite of any unharmonious forces that might appear, remain kind, compassionate, and decent towards others. Keep a pure heart in the world. As a conduit, you're able to contribute to and operate from a separate higher place. And that's the essential part. Practice being kind and courteous when you usually wouldn't be. Give a compliment when you would typically hold back. Do a good deed for someone. Hold open a door or an elevator for a stranger. Walk, talk, and act with deep integrity. Serve others with your whole heart and mean it. Show up for someone in need. Help others in sadness, aloneness, grief, or distress. Attend to others. Encourage others. Hold space for others. Help others if you have the resources and the powers to do so. Just be a beautiful vessel out there in the world. Be glorious. Be the hands and ears of the divine here on earth. Tender zones. Tender zones. A common thing that can happen when you embrace your role as a beacon is that you want everyone to heal, grow, and transform alongside you and in your time frame. But be easy now. Give everyone time and space. This is essential. Although you may plant the seeds, everyone grows and learns in their own timing. If you force them, they can't. If you force them, they can grow and unfold prematurely. Remember, we're in a garden. Keep nurturing and planting seeds without forcing others to grow or to flower before their appointed time. Nurture, never force. Living your life as a beacon is the best teacher, support, and inspiration for others. Your consistent actions express and penetrate more than your words able. Your consistent actions express and penetrate more than your words are able to. More than your words are able to. Your consistent actions express and penetrate more than your words are able to. As flowers unfolding right in divine time without needing to be forced, the people around you will soak in your nourishing actions like water and light. Their process will be unique like yours was, but it will undoubtedly be helped by your graceful, mindful actions. Start by leading by example. And then once the people around you reach a certain level in their growth process, you can use more grit and inspirational fire with them. They'll have tougher and deeper roots in the ground and will be able to withstand more and more inspirational impact. Keep in mind that we aren't adopting or taking a problematic mindset of dominance and over control in the world, but one of graceful harmony and compassion. Through various collective and cultural pains as a world, we know where we have been and can collectively determine to put our energy, efforts, work, and vibration toward the place where we desire to see higher vibrations. It's happening daily. Spirit dance in order here. Spirit dance definitely in order here. So take heart. Being a conduit of good energy and a positive influence for others doesn't mean others will transform immediately. The timing of the divine is never too slow, and benefit all we benefit all concerned when I'm going to read that again. Bear with me. The timing of the divine is never too slow, and we benefit all concerned when we harmonize with the divine timing. This allows us to live in a higher state of peace, awareness, and power, even when we aren't in agreement with the path or vibrational state of those. around us. That was terrible. This allows us to live in a higher state of peace, awareness, and power, even when we aren't in agreement with the past or vibrational state of those around us. Okay, page 184. Pour from a full cup. Pour from a full cup, Misty. As conduits of high vibrations and purpose, we must make sure to restore and nurture ourselves along the way. Note to self. This doesn't mean simply checking in with ourselves from time to time. It means taking time and making space for ourselves in the earliness of our mornings, midday, and again at day's end. Since nothing is new under the sun, we can rediscover the ancient practice and wisdom of mindfulness as a tool for refilling our cup. Mindfulness is transformative because it calls us to be aware not only of ourselves, but everything around us. It dissolves the boundary between self and the outside world. It's a tool we can use to deepen, balance, and inform our work as beacons in the world. We often associate mindfulness with modern times, but the ancient Egyptians, known as the Kemites, had a mindful practice that is a beautiful model for us. Each morning, the Kemites would set the spiritual and character intentions before heading out into the world. At night, they would then reflect on each one of their intentions to gauge how balanced and aligned they remained that day. This practice, still honored and used today by many, is known as the 42 Laws of Mahat. Mahat is revered as the ancient Commission Egyptian goddess of justice, harmony, and balance. And the concept of Mahat represents right attitude, balance, and keeping a pure heart. Many faiths have similar practices to keep and support people on the path of right action, balance, fortification, and being pure in heart. While living and interacting in the world, this is a form of vibrational awareness. How are you staying mindful or gauging your own balance, actions, heart, and vibration in the world? Along the same lines, seeking balance by checking in with ourselves after a day of serving the greater good allows us to examine our cup properly. It's said that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So when serving others, remember to keep your cup full and to be intentional about what you fill your cup with. Stay connected to what positively pours into you, restores you, and helps you to gauge and honor your day-to-day progress. This is daily grace that we can give to our. This is daily grace that we can give ourselves. In the quiet of the morning, set high vibrational intentions for yourself. And as you bring your day to an end, reflect and practice self-examination. And if you didn't hit the day's target, allow grace to step in. The next day is a divine gift to set your intentions and go for it again. Some of our best ideas and days come from a calm, nourished, and restored mind, body, and soul. We need more of this wholeness and self-care within because it heals, restores, balances, and empowers. It empowers us to give the same to the world. How to pour from a restored and full cup. How to pour from a restored and full cup. Set intentions and regularly check in with yourself. Set vibrational boundaries. Take stock of everything on your plate and decide what you give your attention to each day, what can wait, and what you can say no to. Return to what fills and restores you in a nourishing and empowering way. Repeat this daily. Implementing mindfulness practices and self-care days in workspaces, at home, and in schools is essential to creating balance. Less overstimulated and a less stressed out world. Self care is our own conduit, which helps us vibrate higher and feel like ourselves again. Your mission and your well being. We each have our own unique purpose and goals for helping elevate the vibrational state of the world. This process is going to take vibrational work along the way. The work can be hard, but it's our secret weapon in the face of various tests, triggers, and trials. The work needs the proper container, a healthy, nourished physical body, and it won't start until that is present. Take good care of yourself. Taking good care of yourself is essential to creating the proper container. Taking care of yourself can include routine wellness checkups, physical fitness, dancing, massages, and other ways of discharging accumulated energy from the body, slowing down to rest or unwind, nourishing meals, spending time with supportive people, supportive herbs that help you adapt to the task at hand, spending set apart time doing daily spiritual work. Through trial and error and exploration and discovery, I now know my way. I found that in order to effectively show up for the daily mission of life, I can't eat anything that gets in the way of my higher potential and well being. I have also to discharge the accumulated energy I've taken on a vessel, and I also have to discharge the accumulated energy I've taken on as a vessel in the world, which I often do through either dance, nourishing baths, or as last year, reflexology. Some of the things that keep my vessel healthy and refilled have become part of my daily or weekly routine, while I rotate through others depending on what my body, mind, spirit, and soul are calling for in order to be supported and renewed. Some of the things that keep my vessel healthy and refilled have become part of my daily or weekly routine, while I rotate through others, depending on what my mind, body, spirit, and soul are calling for in order to be supported and renewed. Stay watchful of what your body's calling for. Sacred work. As you continue on the path as a conduit, you will start to see your work as sacred, as a sacred part of the divine. Helping others transform, become empowered, and feel more enlightened is a spiritual principle and a way of the mystics and greats throughout time. I have to read that again. Helping others transform, become empowered, and feel more enlightened. Helping others transform, become empowered, and feel more enlightened in a spiritual principle and a way of the mystics. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to go back. Bear with me. Helping others transform, become empowered, and feel more enlightened is a spiritual principle and a way of the mystics and greats throughout time. It's part of the transformation journey of many powerful conduits, past and present, and has illustrated. It's part of the transformation journey of many powerful conduits, past and present, and has been illustrated within the works, lives, and writings of brilliant souls such as Joseph Campbell, Howard Thurman, Inat Khan, Maya Angelou, Nelson Mandela, Rumi, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Dalai Lama, as we've seen. In Buddhism, both Histivas, and I will probably have to go back and say that again. I looked it up, but I don't know that I said it properly, are individuals who have attained nirvana, but instead of separating themselves from the world or disconnecting from the suffering of others, they deliberately choose to remain in the world as beacons and conduits for others. In this way, they help others reach the path of enlightenment. They serve suffering souls from a spiritual place deeply rooted in compassion and high awareness. We see this present also in the teachings of the life of Jesus Christ, Yeshua, who was both deity and human, beacon, light, and conduit, offering mercy, compassion, hope, grace, and support to the broken and suffering world. The connection between having high vibrational awareness and using the awareness to help all sentient beings is present in multiple religions. It is not enough that we become awakened, transformed, and free. We must help others as a part of our higher purpose and calling. While your path may not specifically model that of Christ or Bodhisattvas, you can use their paths as examples for launching into your own life's higher purpose of offering yourself as a light. Reconfiguring and taking your unique gifts, passions, and pains into the world and using them for greater good is beneficial to all sentient beings. Your work through a spiritual lens can look different from everyone else's and still be just as valid, just as spiritual, and just as sacred, and just as necessary to the world. That is the end of a bumpy episode 13. Oh my gosh. I'll do this in the talk back. I hope you were able to really get a message out of episode 13 today. Go back and rewind it. I try to reiterate everything. I will follow up in the talk back. I hope that you guys go and check out the playlist. All the videos are there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope your heart, your soul, and your spirit are well and are vibing with this energy that I'm sharing. It's important for me to do my part, and I feel like doing this and holding the space that I've been making an effort to hold for you. I hope that it helps and it's touching someone. I will continually show up and we will continue to vibrate higher daily. With love, Misty.